because I just finished it early.
I'll just hey folks, it's episode 128 of the Geeky Weekly. I'm Bill Field. The man to my left is the Gray Man. Hello, Gray Man.
Hello. I'm not sure. Am I to your left on?
We're the only guys here today. I don't know where everybody else is.
You're right. As I'm here.
Terry will be here, but late. I don't know where.
Show us some comics, man. Show us your wall. Show us your shop wall.
Show you the wall.
Yeah, one by one. Come on, let's have a camera. What's that? Is that an old Golden Age?
What? We got a lot of Golden Age actually.
Camera comics.
Yeah, we've got.
How much does that one go for?
Which one? Camera?
Yeah.
This is actually pretty cheap. 49 bones.
Okay.
That's not bad. No. Henry, the weird kid with no mouth. That's also Golden Age.
Henry, the weird kid with no mouth. That's what it's called.
Number 11. What's that?
So that's not.
There's Kyle. Name, Kyle's here.
He's Dick, apparently.
Hey, Kyle.
Hey.
What's going on, dude?
Just running around my house, taking care of things, lost track of time.
That's okay. Do you have a selfie stick or something? How are you able to get the phone so far away from you?
I got a camera holder.
Oh, okay.
It's a selfie stick. He just doesn't like to call it that because he doesn't want to be down with the kids.
It's a tripod.
I'll show you here in a minute. All day with it.
That's what she said.
Can you go?
That's what they call me, tripod. I'm kidding. So, hey, is it hot out there?
It's in the 80s today.
It's in the 80s here too. It's a weird.
It'll be in the 80s tomorrow, then a week's worth of rain. So
no tornadoes here, but we got a lot of rain last night or this morning, early this morning. But it's been like close to 100 the last few days. But today, because of the rain, it's only supposed to get to 85. Yippee!
Well, it's a nice temperature over here. That's what I can say. We have proper weather over here, none of that insane weather that you guys have.
No, you guys never have anything too crazy over there.
It's 70 degrees at the moment. A nice cool 70.
That's nice. I wish we could say that here.
Yeah, I think that was a false reading. It's saying now. I think that must have been because I just turned it on. So now it's saying 66. I thought 70 seemed a bit high. So 66. Got the windows open. No humidity particularly. So it's good. It's good.
It's my tripod.
Well, is that what you normally have your camera, your phone on? Oh, you got an actual camera on that, or is that just a tripod?
It's a telephone. I got a telephone holder.
Ah,
that's cool. Oh, I gotcha. How amazing are you? Dude, that's cool.
The mounting brackets on the thing never handled phones well, so I just improvised and took a car phone holder. Electrical taped it to this. Been using it like this for several years now.
Finally sent your package off today, Kyle.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yay!
It's got a comic in it for you, Bill, as well.
For who?
For you.
Wow, thanks.
Yeah, I did mention it a little while ago that I was sending you guys a comic.
You're a good guy. Well, I need to send you some.
It's an AI. It's just an AI comic that my old mate that from the metal scene put out. So it's like it's done by AI. So it's kind of like it's a bit different. It's interesting, and I think a lot of us old fuddy daddies may not agree with AI art. You know what I mean?
I don't, but you know, I mean, I'm tired of getting mad about all that. I mean, I'm not tired. Well, I'm not tired about getting mad because it's something to get mad over, but I'm just worn out from. I'm almost not resigned to
more
it.
Important things to get mad about.
Yeah, there's more.
You'll have madness overload.
Agreed.
Yeah, you have madness overload if you let everything make you mad.
There's some more good comics.
How much is your Green Arrow with the druggy one? How much are you selling that one for?
This one or this one?
That one, yeah, the druggy one.
This one?
My Ward Speedy.
This one is only $139.
Okay.
That's actually a good deal. And then this one is $189. And it's
What's
the
more expensive?
issue.
Okay.
It's the issue after this one.
Yeah.
And this is the
Fair
first
enough.
Neil Adams
Oh yeah, that's expensive
issue.
as well, I bet.
Yeah. And this one's actually a really good deal too, 150. And then of course
Right.
that's an important issue.
Is that the first
And,
meeting of the Golden Age and the
yeah.
Silver Age?
Uh-huh. And then of course
Oh
Luke
yeah,
Cage.
how much is I'm Curious Black?
Right here.
How much is it?
79.
Oh, that's not bad.
No. No.
How
I
are
have
you, Mark? All right.
Yeah, good, thanks.
Hi
How you
Mark.
guys?
Good, good.
Hi, Bill. Hi, Kyle.
He's just showing us some shelf books.
Kyle, you meant to put your name in that box, not your personality.
Huh?
He said
That
that
was
box is
rude,
for your
Mark.
name, not your
That was,
personality.
that was very rude.
Well, that is my middle name, so.
Okay.
Booger? Booger is your middle name.
No, Dick.
Booger is my
Oh.
middle name. Okay.
Last week
Where's
I was
the-
Drew. I've gone by Drew in portions of my life. I've gone by Dick in portions of my life.
Drew because of Andrews?
Yeah.
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 Has anyone ever called you Archie?
No, they called my grandpa Archie.
But not because
His
of Archie
name was
Andrews.
Lewis, but they called him Archie.
Wow.
So, or he's the one that got saddled with that. So
that's funny.
Why
Well, what's going on,
that
guys?
unknown short with him or something?
Huh?
Nothing happening here. Nothing happening with me. All very quiet.
All the funeral stuff starts tomorrow for us, so that'll be going for Thursday and Friday. So, yay! But
Where is that, Bill? Is that local?
yeah, it's going to be in Leon Springs, which is right outside of town. That's where they live.
Fine.
About 17 miles from our house.
So are there a load of cousins and things who you haven't seen for ages who will appear at the funeral?
Well, we had in Blanca's family, we have pretty regular family reunions, so we get to see everybody pretty like at least every year, and then people are always coming through San Antonio, going to someplace else, so we get to see aunts and uncles and cousins that way. But most of the aunts and uncles are sadly dying off.
Yeah.
We don't have a whole lot left, but we still have a lot of freaking cousins.
Yeah.
Blanca has 167 first cousins.
What?
Yes.
167 first cousins.
Yes. I have 4.
She's Catholic.
One's dead. And when my one cousin died, Blanca goes, how many of my cousins would have to die to be equal to that? And I go, 42.
147 first cousins.
167.
Surely you don't know all their names.
Well,
you can't possibly know all their names.
Have you met them all?
I've met most of them, yeah. Well, you know what? I probably, if they came up to me, I would probably know half of their names.
Really?
Which isn't bad.
That's not
because,
bad.
Only because I've been in the family so long, I know who belongs to who, and I can kind of figure it out. But I wouldn't want to lose. I wouldn't want to bet money on that though, because it's a lot of freaking cousins. But
my mom had 4 sisters and my dad had 4 brothers, and I don't think I had 50 cousins between all that.
Wow.
So
yeah, my dad had a sister, and my mom had a sister and a brother, and the brother never married, and my aunt and uncle had 2 kids. They were older than Susie and I, and quite a bit. Like one of my living cousin on my mom's side of the family, she's 17 years older than me. So, and then my 2 cousins on my dad's side of the family, they're just a few years older than me, and we're very close. But they live in Texas. So, Well, I guess all my cousins live in Texas now. I didn't think about that, but wow,
I
how
see my
exciting is
cousins
that?
too, really.
But
So
I was telling
one of my sisters is my cousin.
what?
Yeah.
That's weird.
My mum died quite young, and my father remarried, and he married the wife of his cousin.
Oh, that's so weird.
So they're not related because, well,
right.
They're not related by blood, but they were related by marriage.
Do you have any half siblings?
Yes, I've got a full sister, a half sister, and a stepsister.
Wow. That's crazy. I never knew that. That's crazy to me. I don't know why, but that's crazy to me.
I got one of each.
That's crazy. Yeah, we cleaned the store up a little bit.
All the comics are gone.
No, they're here. They're just stacked up. And
how's your podcasting endeavors going, Bill?
We're supposed to shoot a couple this week. I don't know what's going on with that, but what's so funny is
relatively famous
they interviewed Athena Finger without me. They didn't even tell me.
Oh.
And they go, "Oh yeah, we interviewed Athena yesterday." And I was like, "Okay." I thought I was going to be involved in that, but that's okay. And Athena goes, "Where were you?" And I go, "I didn't even know about it. Nobody told me." So, but I have a panel with her and Alex Grand and Lenny Schwartz next month. And then I've got 3 panels now. I've got a horror panel also, and I've got the panel of how the Flash saved the comic book industry. So it's a little more than a month away, but should be a good con this year. I hope.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Should be.
Yeah,
good enough panels.
Huh?
Yeah, I don't think the Flash did save the comic book industry, but there you go.
Well, the way we mean it is that there were no truly realistic superheroes until Showcase 4. Like
my mate Alan keeps going on about this and how the Showcase 4 is the beginning of the Silver Age. And my point is, well, nothing happened for about another 3 years after that.
Right, but it got the ball rolling, is what we're saying.
Well,
and
then
didn't
get it rolling very fast.
No,
when did the Flash comic start? How soon after the Showcase did Flash have his own series? Was that 3 years?
2 years.
Oh.
It was a while.
Showcase started in '59. Flash didn't get a series till
Showcase started in '55.
54, yeah.
He
didn't get a series till '59.
So that's my
point. No. But his issue number 4 came out in '56.
56, yeah, exactly. It came out in '56, but nothing really. It didn't trigger. It wasn't like the publishing of the Fantastic Four and the creation.
But I don't. But I don't think
I
don't think you'd have the Fantastic Four if you hadn't had Flash.
Really?
I don't. I didn't start thinking about this seriously until recent. Yeah, because Marvel was always monitoring what DC did, and always trying to jump on the bandwagon, so to speak. When Justice League came out, Martin Goodman went to Stan and said, we need a superhero group, and so that's what happened. I mean, but
by monitoring, is that a euphemism for copying?
What's that?
Is monitoring a euphemism for copying?
Yes.
Yeah, one would either copy the other.
But 32, is it the first Justice League?
Right.
And then look at the cover of Fantastic Four, and there's a lot of similarities.
You have a giant creature in both, engaging all of them, and they're all coming at it with their own powers.
Yeah.
And no, without a doubt.
But like in 1960,
I would argue Brave and the Bold 32 was more of a trigger than Flash, than Showcase 4.
Well, But if you hadn't had things starting with the Flash, you wouldn't have gotten to Justice League because
Well,
I mean I don't think because Flash basically Flash was quite popular. He was second only to Batman and Superman at the time, and so people were paying attention.
Well,
You
the
know,
superhero resurgence.
in the showcase series, when did Green Lantern? That was like 21 or so. Was it Green
22.
Lantern?
22.
22.
So that wasn't that long after. That was only 18 issues after Flash, so a year and 18 months, unless it was bi-monthly or something. What was there any other superheroes in showcase between Flash and Green Lantern?
Well, there's Challengers of the Unknown. There was
Where was Hawkman?
Hawkman was in Brave and the Bold, and he was late. He was
He was in Showcase as well.
1959.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about 34 or something, isn't it? Or something like that. I can't remember now.
Yeah.
But
Adam was in Showcase 31. Hawkman was in 34. But yeah, sometime like 1960, Martin Goodman was golfing with Shelley or Schwartz.
Yeah.
And he's like, how's the sales going on that? And he's like, it's going through the roof. And he went back from that golf game and told Stanley and Jack Kirby, give me a hero team.
Yeah.
Because they're selling.
And at that same time, Stan was about to leave the comic business forever. And
To write the great American novel.
To write the great American novel. And his wife said, well, why don't you use that same,
spark
and put it in comics? And he did. And so her comment had a lot to do with him going balls out and doing, more realistic characters.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
Hey, Bill, I want to do a callback to where we started real quick.
Okay.
With your 162 cousins.
167.
Or whatever. Yeah, I want
I
to
know.
give you a couple quick laps here. My dad's second wife had 3 daughters, and of course I had 2 brothers. And it was funny because they got married in the early 70s. But we were the same age disparity as the Brady Bunch.
That's weird.
They were only, I think, 3 years younger than us equally. But we were the same age disparity. Just one of them symmetrical things that was really funny because they called us the Brady Bunch all the time. Because now, neither one of them were widowers or anything like that. But
yeah,
got a kick out of that. But you made me laugh when you talk about, your wife's family doing pretty routine family reunions. And through the 90s and early 2000s, the only side of my family that ever did reunions was my mom's side of the family, the McGraws. And I just had to laugh and look at you and Mark because the last time I went to a family reunion, I played baseball or played a game of softball in cowboy boots where I was playing shortstop. Who you think was playing third base?
Abbott and Costello. No, I don't know.
I was at the McGraw family reunion.
Oh, Tug.
I don't know. It's from the
was it Tug?
Costello,
it was Tim.
Oh, Tim.
Yeah, yes, Tim was
well.
playing
I
third
don't
base.
know. He's on third base in the Abbott and Costello sketch.
So are you related to Tug?
Yeah, I'm closer related to Tug than Tim because I guess because father son, they're one more string removed. Tug called my grandma Aunt B, but I think that was a broken chain.
Yeah.
Like something to do with her dad's sister or something. The link is Tug and my grandma.
Tim was an adult before he even knew who his dad was,
but
I heard.
Tim was like a third cousin. No, he knew who he was. He didn't spend much time with him.
Oh, okay.
But no, he was still up and coming, and he'd come and do things. But the last time I was at a family reunion, I was playing softball with him, and I was the one in cowboy boots because I didn't know we were playing softball. But one of his regular gigs was playing a local bar around here called the 8 Second Saloon that paid him well.
Oh, wow.
Before Curb Records actually signed him. But I did the math once. It's either second cousin thrice
Second
removed
saloon,
or
how long
third
they hired
cousin
the rooms
twice
out for.
removed. I don't remember all the removes, but he's not a direct cousin, but he is a cousin of mine.
I keep thinking Mark's wearing a Tintin shirt for some reason. I don't know why. It looks like one of the.
It is
like,
a bit Tintin-y, I agree with it.
But no, so we'll do tomorrow will be the rosary, and then Friday will be the funeral. So I think a lot of people are probably
Sorry, I
coming.
thought a rosary was a string of beads.
Well, rosary is also everyone praying the rosary together for like 30,
Pray the
40
rosary.
minutes.
Okay.
Are you
Yeah.
going to play AC/DC?
Huh?
Are you going to play AC/DC music?
No, why?
A whole lot of rosary.
Oh, you're stupid. God, why do I love you, man? No, we're not going to be playing a whole lot of rosary. A whole
That
lot
one
of
actually,
rosary.
that
Yeah,
one actually deserves a small round of applause. That actually was almost humorous.
that was. It
Kyle,
happens so
I
rarely
appreciate
with
that one.
Kyle, you know. But hey, Kyle, it
Well-
looks like you're growing hair.
No.
You don't look. I don't know. It
I
looks
think
like
it's just freckles.
Yeah, it does look like you're growing hair there, Kyle.
it does.
Yeah.
What happened? I'm joking.
I'm going through puberty.
He's got some at the back. He has got a bit at the back.
You know, I have a nephew who he's the sweetest kid in the world, but he was always like, hi Uncle Bill, hi Tia Blanca, and then one day it was just like, hey Uncle Bill, hi Tia Blanca, and it was like the same little kid, but I guess his balls dropped or something. I don't know, but
Yeah, that's what happened to Phil.
he has a little he has a little half brother who was born like 2 months early, and he's a very small kid, and he's the older nephew is now 25, 26, and this kid is 12. Well, will be 12 this year, and he's such a little guy, and his parents are small, but he goes, hey Uncle Bill, and we joke now that it's just a matter of days before we see him, and it's like, hey Uncle Bill. So it'll happen soon. It'll happen. But
Every
it's
time
funny.
you do their voices, I keep waiting for you to go, oh no, it's Mr. Bill.
Yep. Here comes Mr. Bill's dog. I love those things, man. And I've always been called Mr. Bill's result. So everyone calls me Mr. Even at doctor dentist appointments. It's just crazy. So what can I say? But no, we've got a big Father's Day sale coming up this weekend, and that should be pretty good. I'm just going to be.
How many
I'll
fathers
only be here on Saturday, but
how many fathers are you selling?
as many as their wives will bring them in.
Okay.
But you know, man, I feel bad for Terry. I wish he could be here today, get a break. And I guess Darren is too busy counting comics, huh?
Yeah,
Photographing,
or he's looking after a poorly orc.
Yeah.
That's funny.
How was your whatnot last Thursday?
It was actually
Mark?
okay. It was actually okay because I'd bought a load of Amazing Spider-Mans at an auction last Monday with the intention of selling them because I don't collect Amazing Spider-Mans, and all of them sold. So yeah, so you know, I charged about 20. I made about 20-30% on them.
That's good. That's not bad.
Yeah,
I was going to pop over to your whatnot after our show here, but hell, we went 3 hours last week.
Whoa. Yeah, so it was okay actually. It was one of the better ones I've had recently. I'm only doing one a week. I'm not. I'm writing a novel at the moment, so I'm a bit distracted.
Wait, what? Are you really?
I'm writing a novel. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Are you? You're not kidding.
No.
I did not know. I did not know you'd been bitten by the writing bug. That's amazing.
Well, I've never written a novel before, but I started it when we were on holiday, and I've continued. So I'm over a third of the way through it. So
my guess
Wow.
is a steamy romantic romp in Yorkshire somewhere during the Industrial Revolution with a serving maid called Rosie. Am I on the right track? And you got
you're
a
not far off,
pseudonym, a
mate. You're
nom
not
de
far
plume.
off.
Your nom de plume is Hilda Desario or something like that. I don't know.
It's very Catherine Cookson like. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not set in Yorkshire in the Industrial Revolution.
It's set in Texas.
It's not
set in Texas.
I know nothing about Texas.
You do. You know me. Come on.
Well, yeah, I can't base the novel just on you. Oh, well, I probably could base a novel.
He could give you local knowledge, though. He could give you local knowledge.
It would probably be more like Fear and Loathing in San Antonio. But
Yeah, it's set in 1484.
Wow.
Is it really?
In the village that I live in.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Is there some event that actually happened there? That
No, it's a murder mystery novel.
Is it called the Magna Carta?
No, that's a bit earlier, Kyle.
Is it like Brother Cadfiel or something like that?
No, I doubt it.
Frozen. Who done it? He's frozen.
He's frozen. Let it flow. Let it. Oh, sorry. He's back. Well, that's amazing. And you're a third through. You're a third of the way through. That's great.
Yeah.
Have you any plans for it? Are you going to try and see?
I don't know. I'm looking for beta readers, so I'll see what people think of it.
That's great.
You can always apparently Amazon.
I know. I might self-publish, but I'd obviously quite like to, make some money.
If it's possible.
Absolutely.
At the end, does the narrator run into somebody named Gutenberg and relay the story to him and go, "This would look great in print"?
Yes. Yeah, I didn't mean to leak that, Mark. I'm sorry. You told me that in trust, and I'm sorry. I had to. It just popped out.
So well, they're actually set very near the printing press first introduced into the UK in 1470. So Thomas Caxton. So actually, there is mention of the first printing press in my book.
Well, there you go.
Wow.
You
weren't far wrong.
Caxton produced a version of Thomas Chaucer's The Canterbury Tales in 1478. It was the first printed copy of.
Is it not Geoffrey Chaucer?
Geoffrey Chaucer, yes.
Yeah.
I said Thomas. Sorry.
Sorry, Geoffrey Chaucer. Yes, sorry. Yeah. Thomas Caxton.
Let's get it right in the book. That's what matters.
Yeah, that's why I need beta readers to correct all the errors.
Yeah. So what happened? Did you just suddenly have a bolt from the blue and thought, "Oh, I'm going to do this"?
Well, because I read a lot of detective novels and I quite like crime stories and things like that. So I've always sort of thought it'd be nice to write, because I know a lot about crime fiction and so on and so forth. And I thought it'd be good to write something, but it's got to interest me as well, because if you're not interested, then your reader's not going to be interested, are they? So
yeah.
I thought, we'll do a murder mystery, and I'll set it in and around where I live, because where the village I live in was around in 1484.
Yeah.
So what's it called between the Black Plague and the Spanish Inquisition?
At the moment, it's called Murder at the Horse Fair, which might change.
Murder at the Horse Fair.
Did you have to?
I'm sorry, but it sounds like.
Oh, he's gone.
I've got Bill off for being my first critic.
Because it wouldn't be the constabulary would have been different then, wouldn't it? Would it just been the local?
It was the local lord controlled the law. So there is a constable, and he is effectively appointed. He's appointed by the lord of the manor.
And they were called that in that time.
They were called constables. Yes.
That's what I was wondering about the research on that, about the actual.
Yeah, no, I have to research everything, Gray. I mean, you've got to be really careful. If you put a phrase down, you have to go, well, hang on a minute. Would that phrase? So, for instance, what curse words would they have used? Because my character gets annoyed and uses a curse word. And I thought, well, what curse words were around in 1480? Do you know?
Odds Bodkins, is it?
Odds Bodkins.
Terry's here.
Terry.
Right, Terry. Also, there'd be no forensics at that time either, would there? So,
Like
that's partly what
I hear a didgeridoo in the background.
The early form of forensics.
There was an early form of forensics, eh?
Well, yeah. I mean, you can use logic, can't you? So, for instance, there's somebody who's reported to have drowned in my novel, but my guy inspects his esophagus, his mouth, but
there's no water in the lungs.
No water in it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. We've got a bit funny. Is it just me, or does it sound a bit funny?
I think somebody's got.
I hear it sounds like a didgeridoo in the background or something.
I'm going to mute you for a second, Terry. You just came in to see if it goes. It might be your mic set up.
There we go.
Terry's muted. That's gone, hasn't it? It's all right now.
Now come back.
Anyone else say it's all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't hear it anymore.
I'll put it back on.
There we go.
Yeah, you got a little bit of some kind of. You got another window or something, Terry.
We can't hear you either, Terry.
Oh yeah, you're very.
It sounds like he's auto-tuned.
I think
Yeah. I think that's the only way you can do it.
Did anyone watch his video that came out the other day, the Superman Volume 2 one? Because I thought I detected a little hint of distortion at the edges of him talking on that one as well. I was like, am I mishearing? I kept thinking I heard a little bit of distortion on that.
Well, we had a memorial. Let me try again. We had a memorial 2 nights ago for Jonathan Joss, the guy who played Red Corn on King of the Hill.
Yeah.
And he was murdered the other day, and it was good. Phil did a great job. Phil kind of hosted it, and
did you guys know him or?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we knew him real well. Yeah.
Oh.
Terry's back.
Any noise?
Yeah.
Nope. Can't hear you. Can't
hear me.
No, I
can hear
you. Yeah, I thought I heard you. Yeah, the distortion's gone now, mate. You're okay.
Yay.
I can still hear it.
Oh, you can?
There's a delayed echo.
I'm not hearing it now.
I'm not hearing it.
Oh, maybe a little bit. Oh yeah.
He's got a delayed echo, like he's got it open somewhere.
Quieter though. I think it's quieter. It's not as disturbing as it was.
Weird.
It's not squawky, but it's got that echo, like it.
A little bit.
There it is.
You
got it. Whatever you did, you got it.
Cue the mystery music.
Yeah.
Whatever he did, he got it. It closed the window or whatever. It was catching echo.
Yeah, I think it's better than it was anyway. Yeah,
it might have been the phone. The phone keeps bleeping.
Right.
So it might have been the phone. I've turned the phone off now, so see what happens.
Well, maybe that's it.
Right.
No, it's still there for me.
Oh, sorry, man.
That used to be an indicator on whether or not your stuff was tapped, but it's a whole different type of technology now. So,
hey, have you guys ever seen these?
Every bugger's after me at the moment, including the Russians, by the sounds of it. Then.
Yes, Earth-X. I've got some of those.
They're very weird.
There's one of those that's very collectible for some reason. I can't remember why.
Oh,
yes, female Silver Surfer.
Yeah,
I've got that one. If anyone wants it,
that's the only one we don't have, and everybody wants it.
Oh, I'll sell it to you for what's it worth? £100?
Yeah.
I do a straight swap. That one for your Lois Lane Curious Black.
I'm a little. We almost sold it the other day. I mean, it's a pretty good price. I mean, $75, but it's not in great shape. Mine, the one I got from the collection is actually in really good shape. But of course, I have no idea where it is because everything's disheveled right now. But
that with the movie hype coming up, if you could get that in your possession before the movie came out, that'd be a very profitable switch for you, Bill.
What?
to swap that with that first surfer. That first Kal-El surfer, just to catch before if you cashed it out before the movie hype.
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know how easy they are to find.
So
I've been looking.
I mean, the hype leading in, it's probably worth $120 in decent shape now.
I was trying to flog that for £1 a few months ago. I was trying to sell that for £1 and no one took it. So now I'm glad it didn't go.
Well, yeah, me too. I'm glad.
But yeah, you definitely got to strike while the iron's hot, because if she doesn't work in the movie, then that's going to plummet.
Right. She will.
If she works in the movie, then you might have a little bit of remorse.
You basically have until opening weekend.
Yeah.
You know,
if she works really well in the movie, sure, it'll spike a little bit more, but you're not really going to get a peak much like what you got right now.
But don't you think that I mean, she's going to die in the movie? So
no.
They move into the other universes. I mean,
no, she's gonna because they've already signed her for 4 movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt that it's going to be all Fantastic Four, but she's set to be in the Doomsday and all that stuff.
Huh?
But they're not bringing back Chris Evans. That kind of surprised me a little bit.
Oh, they will. You know, Chris Evans is going to pop up in Secret Wars.
He said he's all sad because they basically told him he's not going to show up in it.
Yeah, I think that's a smoke screen. You know,
do you?
Since he's got multiple characters, and hell, he even popped up in Deadpool, and they're going multi-universal.
Yeah, but he popped up in Deadpool as a Human Torch.
That's what I'm saying. He's been so many superheroes. He's going to be in something.
What's he been in the DC universe? I know he's been something.
Was in the Losers.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
right.
Not
superhero, but he was in the Losers.
That's interesting.
What's the other one I'm forgetting? He did 4 superhero parts, or DC or Marvel parts, and I'm forgetting one of them. Human Torch, Captain America, the Losers.
There's another. He was some.
Is it Scott Pilgrim? I think he's in Scott Pilgrim. Maybe.
Maybe he is.
I think he's in Scott Pilgrim.
That's not DC though, is it? Scott Pilgrim, is that DC?
I don't know.
Dark Horse,
maybe
isn't
an independent, but it's a comic book thing. But I think he's in Scott Pilgrim.
Yeah, interesting.
Or something like that. He's done like 4 comic book characters.
Hello, Christina.
Cheers, Mark. Cheers, my man. And Mark, once the smoke clears this weekend, I'll do a video call with you, and I'll show you what I think you want.
Okay.
I'm sorry it's drug out a little bit.
All right.
It's just been
that's
kind of
open to interpretation.
Huh?
That's open to interpretation. You can do a video call. You're going to show him what he wants. We don't need that kind of hookup going on.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull out my tripod.
Keep it to yourself.
I'm not that kind of fellow. But
any of you guys ever want to give me a video call? I got pretty much 98% of my stuff is up for sale. So if you ever get to,
I just want to have a video call with you to knock out. You and I have talked for hours. Just
Night Tiger.
Hi, Night Tiger.
Oh, Night Tiger. No. Yes, I'm Vince Neil, by the way. If we're the Motley Crue. Sorry.
Right, I'm going to show some comics. I know it's a radical thing to do on a comic show.
Have you got some comics to show? That's good.
Comics to show, yeah.
That's a nice pile.
Let's show some comics. Yeah.
Hey, and relevant to Cousins in that last comic. God damn. Oh, that's cool.
That's the one. There's the shog off.
It's in rough shape, but it is.
It's got tearing on the shog off, isn't it? He's got paper tear. Oh, that's a shame.
No, it's not paper tear. It's there's something's been stuck. The label's been stuck on it. I think I can get that off.
I think you can too.
Yeah, cool. Bit of water.
Yeah.
Carefully.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
So where is this in the pantheon of comic history?
That is the first publication of H.P. Lovecraft's At the Mountains of Madness. Part 1.
What?
One of his
so
most
it's more
well-known
like a
novellas.
Penny
And that,
Dreadful. It's
this
more like
is even rarer. This is actually At the Mountains of Madness Part 3 in really great shape.
Is that the first appearance of Barbarilla's dildo?
Thanks. That's thank you, Gray. I was waiting for Kyle to raise the tone of the show, but
well, that's what Kyle's butt plug looks like.
Oh, it has to be much bigger nowadays.
What did you buy it for, then, Bill?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm
right,
so
the
sorry.
value
I'm
of this
sorry.
comic plummeted by about 90%.
That's
so you
funny.
need number 2. You just need part 2 now.
I need number 2. Yes.
Yeah.
Not
That's
easy
cool.
to find. I showed you some comics from.
You got that for a steal as well, didn't you? You got them for a steal. They're worth about 10 times what you paid, didn't they?
I got this one for a steal. I got that for a $5.
Wow.
That's cool.
Wow. Now, what did Cthulhu first show up in?
Don't remember.
What story was that?
It was before Mountains
Weird
of Madness.
Tales, maybe.
Yeah, it's appeared in another one. Yeah,
He's been in when he was all over the place.
Was Lovecraft bigger in the beginning in England than he was in the States?
No, he appeared in these things. He appeared in the pulps.
I don't think so.
He was in.
That's American.
He's American. Yeah.
That's
he
our
became more popular when Arkham House started.
I'm losing my mind
stories.
today. Okay. I was thinking that was British.
Bill, there's a clue. Because the price is 20 cents. Now, that is the currency in the United States.
I couldn't see it, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
now I was right. It was Weird Tales in 1928, the first appearance of.
There you go, yeah.
And
he actually sent At the Mountains of Madness to the publishers of Weird Tales, and they turned it down.
Right.
Which is
why, long, didn't they?
Which is why it ended up
in Darren's here.
Yeah.
Darren's joined us.
Oh, he has.
Has he?
He's backstage.
Hello, Darren.
I came to see Carl's butt plug.
Sitting there too long. How many photographs have you taken?
He said
today?
He wanted to see the butt plug. Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay, I'll show you the butt plug, Darren, just in case you missed it.
This is honestly, they're just awesome. I forgot it was Wednesday. I thought it was Tuesday. And I was messing about on World of Warcraft anyway. And I just finished World of Warcraft, fed the birds, came in and saw, and I put YouTube on. I was like, oh no, the show's on, and saw Mark showing this stuff. And I was like, oh my God, Mountains of Madness. That is wonderful stuff. Wonderful stuff.
Hey, have you ever seen the movie version?
I think I have actually.
I think the Mountains of Madness.
Yeah.
I've heard it's not bad, but I've never seen it.
Is it a 1950s film? I think I've seen it.
No, I think they did. I could swear they did one maybe 10 years ago.
If there was, that would be the Lovecraft Historical Society. There's like a Lovecraft fan club, and they make film. They did a Call of Cthulhu in the style of an old 1920s movie, like black and white and that. So they kind of make films of Lovecraft stuff, but like in old style kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay.
I know that Guillermo del Toro, whatever you say, he wanted to do At the Mountains of Madness, but it fell through. He was really wanting to make.
No, I thought he did. No, I thought he was the one who did it.
No, he was wanting to, but it was never made. As far as I'm aware, unless it was made and I somehow missed it. The last I heard.
Well, do you know his magnum opus is about to come out, and it's going to come out on Netflix, not at the theaters, and that kind of surprised me. But
what's it called?
Frankenstein.
Okay.
I mean, this is supposed to be the Frankenstein movie.
His magnificent
since the whale movie. Yeah, it's supposed to be fantastic, and I can't remember who's playing Frankenstein though. But
some unfamiliar name, kind of big guy. Dr. Frankenstein is Isaac.
Moon Knight. Isaacs. Yeah, Isaac. The guy who played Moon Knight.
Isaac Asimov.
No, he's dead. He dead.
Apparently, there was a version of At the Mountains of Madness from last year. I'm just seeing this. It's a trailer on YouTube. I don't know how. Apparently, it was shown at the Lisbon International Horror Film Festival. But there's no comments on it, so I don't know if it's right. You know, sometimes people make up fake trailers, don't they? Or maybe it was a concept trailer and no actual film was made.
Yeah.
I'm not too sure.
Speaking of trailers, have you guys seen today's Superman trailer?
No. Is it any good?
Stupid good. Like stupid good.
I didn't see it all. I didn't see it all, Kyle. But you do see him you do see how he gets his ass kicked.
No, the new one, he's kicking ass pretty much the whole way.
Oh, then I haven't seen the new one. Okay.
Basically, you see him and Crypto knock a dude's teeth out.
Oh yes, that is okay. So I did see that.
And he squares off with Guy Gardner, and Guy Gardner gives him a line that's really cool.
And you know, I'm looking forward to. I think Nathan Fillion's going to do a wonderful job as Guy Gardner, because that guy is such a good actor. And this will be
whose
his
teeth does he knock out? Does he knock out a normal hoodlum's teeth or some kind of giant monster teeth?
At first I thought it was an unmasked the Barabian guy, but he's wearing like a Luther Court metal suit, and I didn't recognize the actor.
Yeah, I didn't either.
And nobody in the comments even made mention of it, so I don't think it's an important character. I just think it was one of Luther.
No, I'm more thinking
it's
of
not
why
like Frank Grillo or anything.
Yeah,
that doesn't sound very Superman-like to me, punching people's teeth out of there.
Basically, it's Crypto kicking him in the face and then Superman following it up.
When his teeth come flying out, or
You
see it going. Yeah.
Crypto's got a fluffy little paw. How could he hit somebody in the face?
Are you mute, Terry?
It's heavy. It's a heavy paw.
I saw Terry's.
Well, even in the trailer before, when he's bouncing on our injured Superman, he's hurting him. You know, his paws come down with some power. So
power. So they're going to everything revolving around puppy power. No Scrappy Doo comments, please. But no, the crowds have been so crazy about Crypto and all the trailers and stuff. He's already going to have a TV series after the movie comes out.
Yeah.
And
I'm surprised that people are taking to Crypto, to be honest. I would have thought people would be like, this is silly, that makes no sense kind of thing. I mean, it didn't make much sense in the Silver Age comic book, to be honest.
People freaking watch dog videos all day long.
Sorry, people like this soppy stuff. Do you know the weekend where Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible opened, Lilo and Stitch took more money?
It wasn't the same
I have
film,
to tell you, the clips I've seen. The clips I've seen, Lilo and Stitch is probably the better movie, and I hate to say that, but it.
Hi, Kenneth.
You know, hey Kenneth, it's Kenneth Bird. How are you, buddy?
Now, have you seen any of that Lilo and Stitch? I mean, it's not something I've even heard of. Well, I've heard of, but.
Well, my nieces are really into it, so that's the only But you know, it was really a great movie. The movie I really am looking forward to, and I don't know if you guys have seen any of the trailers, but I'm looking forward to Elio, the new Pixar movie. It looks hilarious. It's about a kid who wants to get abducted and gets abducted by aliens and winds up saving the planet. And it looks real heartwarming, but it also looks really funny.
Hey, Bill, speaking of that movie, did you see Jimmy Kimmel's monologue last night?
No, I did not.
After the show, watch Jimmy Kimmel's monologue, because I'm going to talk American politics for about 30 seconds and then get off of it.
Okay.
Because, you know, on the East Coast, they're like, oh, LA's on fire, and this is going on, and that's going on. So at the Elio premiere was happening across the street from Kimmel during last night's show. And they just took cameras around live. I mean, it was live then. It doesn't air until 11:30 at night. But they took around cameras at 5 o'clock at night. And they're cutting to comments made over in Washington. And then they're like, you know, oh, LA's on fire, this, that, and the other. And Kimmel hits him with a shut the fuck up. He's like, these are the streets of Los Angeles right now. Here's the kids' movie premiere of Elio. You know, this is happening here. This is happening there. You know, like 3 people have been arrested legitimately for actually causing trouble, and they don't know if they're instigators or not. They're like, these are peaceful protests, and here's live shots of it. You know, you're saying LA's on fire. Here's a live shot in the main street of LA right now.
Well,
and Kimmel basically told him to just shut the fuck up and get the fuck out.
Well, I told Gray, I don't think you were on yet, but freaking Greg Abbott is sending in the troops tomorrow for protest here in San Antonio, and all the cops and sheriffs are saying, please don't come here because you're going to start trouble. You're not going to stop it.
If as a Marine, I would have been kicked out before I went somewhere like that.
Well, I'm willing to bet there's going to be some AWOLs involved.
I would have been
kicked you never
out
know.
Before I let somebody let me.
I've never seen Darren's place look so dark.
Okay, that's it for me. I'm talking politics.
That's all. Thank you, Kyle. That was very good. That was poignant, and I appreciate.
But yeah, that's like it's like 10 minutes. It's worth watching. But Kimmel basically just tells him a big fuck.
Now, I do want to say something real quick. I'm real sad that we've lost Sly Stone. He was a wonderful musician. He was kind of the soundtrack to a lot of our growing up. Especially like Mark and I, I'm guessing, and Terry, because we're a little older than you guys. But his music, growing up in Hawaii, everywhere you'd go, you would hear his music. And
hey, Bill, do you know who died a couple hours ago?
Yes, Brian Wilson.
Brian Wilson.
Yeah, Brian Wilson. So, and sadness there too. Brian Wilson was arguably the biggest musical genius during the British invasion on the American side. He was if you don't know his story, you need to find out, because he was gifted. He was gifted with amazing musical abilities. He basically could write sonatas and any kind of musical format
and
in his head.
Schizophrenia.
Yeah, and so poor guy. He just, but he made it to 82. He will go down as one of the greatest American composers of all time.
I think Sounds was Paul McCartney's favorite album, wasn't it? Well, I think John Lennon's, for that matter.
What album?
Pet Sounds.
Pet Sounds, yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, was Good Vibrations was on that album, wasn't it? Yeah, and that's one of the biggest musical triumphs of the 60s. I mean, if you know what all went into the production. Smile, it took Smile like 25 years to come out. It was really good, but it was I don't know what to say, but he was a true pioneer. And so was Sly. And Sly was a Texan, by the way. Sly was from Denton, Texas, where I went to college at North Texas. And 2 of his siblings were in the band with him. And that's kind of why they called it Sly and the Family Stone.
Hey, Bill, what fictional cult movie originated in Denton, Texas?
Oh, Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Yep.
Yep. And they had the world premiere of the sequel, Shock Treatment.
Shock Treatment. Yep.
In Denton when I started as a freshman. Not to bore anybody, but it was exciting. Yeah. So we got to meet all the original actors except for Tim Curry, and it was really phenomenal. My friend Jim came up for that, the one that I tell you guys about all the time, that brought Rocky Horror to San Antonio. And without Jim being my friend, I never would have gotten that comic collection I got last year. So that's another weird story, but no. We're dropping like flies, fellas. I mean, people are getting up to their 80s, 70s, and 80s, and it's, I'm not scared, but, I'm not looking forward to the next 3 decades. I mean, I am, I guess. I don't know.
Michael Caine didn't die, did he, recently?
Michael
Caine's not died.
Michael Caine's still alive.
Yeah, I thought so, but you know, at YouTube sometimes some stupid assholes make videos like showing like thumbnails and saying these people have died or whatever.
Right,
Michael
they
Caine
haven't.
I'm sure he's not hurt. I don't think he died.
You're talking about that one where he de-ages? They're doing all those AI.
No,
I hate those. I fucking hate those.
some
you go to they just suggest you these different videos, and there was a video saying, "Look who's died this month" or something, and the first picture was Michael Caine. I didn't watch it, but I thought I sure would have heard it somewhere else if he had died.
I saw something where it looked like Michael Caine, but it wasn't. So that might have been that.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So
yeah, no,
I think
a lot of those are unfamiliar faces. A lot of character actors.
They're doing a lot of those de-aging.
Darren needs to sort out his photos so he can sell us some stock, so we can go out and start buying new stock, so he can show it to us on these streams. I miss the days of him going through boxes of mystery and us all sort of like claiming and wondering where it came from and all that kind of thing.
Ooh.
Weird mystery boxes from around the world, or around England anyway, and like citing stories of daring do where he leaves his car open for 5 hours and stuff like that, and and drives into canals or whatever and visits weird people whose wives want to sell their collection, and it turns out to be Mark. See, this is what we need more of.
I have to tell you, that was some of the best podcast. I don't know, drama, comedy, whatever you want to call it. That night, that was so. And you know what? You guys played it so well. You really, really did. And it didn't dawn on me that you guys were setting us up. But Terry wasn't on board yet. Terry would have gotten a big kick out of that. It was freaking hilarious. So, I do think Darren is the master of mischief. And Mark's not too far behind.
Yeah. Hey, Bill, to call back on that thing you said a minute ago when you said, they're all getting old and you're thinking like the next 10, 20, 30 years down the line.
Yeah.
I used to always view life like that. And when they give you a terminal diagnosis and say 10 years is basically an impossibility, 10 to 12 years is best case scenario.
Yeah,
it's literally like running into a brick wall, because I always saw like 30 years out. What will I be doing in 30 years? I had that futurist mentality of, when I'm buying comics, like I told my wife the other day, when I started buying or nicking comics when I was 13, 14, 15 years old, the collecting craze was starting to barely come about, and I literally would think 25, 30 years down the line, well, how will this benefit my kid? Within a couple of years of that, it really boomed. And so basically, since I've been a teenager, I've been thinking 30 years ahead with comics.
Yeah.
So that's why I was able to sit on what I sat on. And then all of a sudden they went, nope, you can't think 30 years ahead no more, ever again. And it's such a weird feeling that I literally could not look. Like 2030 is a daydream for me. And that used to seem, hell, in 2000, 2030 seemed like a lifetime away. Especially in the 80s, 2030 seemed a lifetime away. 2030 is 4.5 years away now.
Yeah.
And I cannot picture anything about 2030.
Wow.
I have no aspirations towards 2030. It is just weird because, I just always thought, you always think 20, 30 years out, the next generations and things like that. And then all of a sudden I just hit a brick fucking wall.
Well, I do it's funny. I was just sitting there thinking about time. We've been doing this podcast for about 2.5 years now. I've been on the podcast for over 2 years. And this is the most fun I've ever had podcasting, honestly. And you guys, it's funny.
It's the most fun I've ever had podcasting, because it's the only podcast I've ever done.
Well, okay, you didn't have to mention
that.
The
only one you'll ever need, Mark. What could possibly compare to this?
Yeah, well, Mark, you don't consider the price variance of podcast?
Oh, I do it as a podcast, but I'm not sure anybody listens to it as a podcast. I just do it as a podcast because.
I don't think anyone listens to this as a podcast. We don't, especially when we're showing comic books. It doesn't really work in a podcast format, does it? You just show comic books.
That's just a blanket. It's just a blanket term for a YouTube.
Okay, I've got some more. I'm going to show some more comics.
Yay, more comics.
Good.
Waxing poetic about death. And
Mark, keep up like you were doing with those pulps. I may have to blank my screen and mute my mic.
So this is from the auction last week. I think I told you about it last week.
Jesus.
Oh my God.
I really
That is,
want that. I really, really want that. That's beautiful.
That is the Alan
Number
Clark
3
print of Fantastic Four 3.
Wow.
What's wrong with that cover, Mark?
What's wrong with it? It says Creepy Worlds, not Fantastic Four.
What's wrong with that cover, though?
I don't know what's wrong with it, Kyle.
What's wrong with that cover, Bill? Darren's telling you.
I have no idea.
Darren's telling you.
Mr. Fantastic's got jazz hands.
No, look at Johnny Storm's hands.
Very close.
Oh yeah, there's
Is 2 right hands or something?
They're open.
Yeah, look at Johnny Storm's hands.
What about
2 right hands or 2 left hands?
He's either. I think he's got 2 left hands.
Oh,
Kirby
that's
drew
weird.
with like 2 left hands.
Okay,
Wow. They never corrected
he's a
it.
superhero. He's allowed to have 2 left hands. So yeah,
I love it.
They never corrected it,
really
but Johnny's got
really
like 2
really
left
good
hands.
condition as well. First reprint, probably about 18 months after the original.
I prefer
Wow.
Darren's jazz hand answer. That would be more like
Yeah,
fun.
I did like the jazz hands answer. That was good.
That is a beautiful purchase. That one, Mark. That is a cracker.
That is.
And you're gonna get that signed by Alan.
It was
too?
in a lot of 70 comics, and all you could see
Wow.
of it, all you could
Holy
see of it
moly.
was that, right? Because they hadn't.
Wow.
But you knew what it was.
I recognized it from that edge.
Not a lot of. Not a lot of. You have to know your Allen class to know that is that based on that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That Daredevil's the first. The American version is the first.
That is one of my favorite Alan Class covers. It really works better than the original.
Isn't that the first Gene Colan issue?
I think it might be.
Might be.
Yeah.
And so that's the first Daredevil I ever bought. Number 8. Isn't it?
If that's not the first, it's definitely an early one.
So that's DD8.
That Fantastic Four Creepy Worlds, Mark. That looks good enough for CGC to me.
Oh, it is. I'm going to CGC it.
My mind's saying it's 2
That'll
left
get
hands.
a 4550, in which case it'll be worth about 450, 500.
Wow.
Is it 2 left hands or 2 right hands? I have left stuck in my head.
I actually thought it was Reed, not Johnny, with the funny hands, but
No, it's Johnny with the funny hands. He's. Let's work it out. I think it's 2 right hands.
Right hands, isn't it? 2 right hands.
I think it's 2 right hands.
Thumbs on the left.
Yeah, no, I'm going to get that. I'm going to get that graded.
Yeah, his hands are like this on the cover. I thought it was like this, but his hands are like that on the cover.
I've got the Creepy Worlds of Fantastic Four 1, which I've got in a 4/5. I actually have the original of Fantastic Four number 2, which I bought from a turkey farmer.
You gobbled that up.
I did.
Very good.
Oh dear.
what kind of an auction did you get that one in? That could not have been a comic specialist auction because they would have known.
Turkey in a straw auction.
Yeah, it was right. So there's a local auction house to me, Darren, that once probably about twice a year, maybe even less than that, they get comics, right? And I went to one of the auctions. I went that because it's only about 45 minutes away. It's in Chelmsford. So I went to it. Colchester. So I went to it last year. I went there and had a fantastic auction. And there were 2 lots and I think I might have told you about it. This was the one where there was this live bidder who was in with me, and he looked like a tramp, and his shoes were all done up with gaffer tape. And there was loads.
I remember the story, but I can't remember how it ended.
Okay, so there was loads of Batman, Silver Age keys, and Golden Age Batman, all of which I was interested in, but I knew they'd already gone beyond my price before the auction began. I could see the price had gone. But there were 2, I'd actually been and looked at all the lots, and the lots was just held in boxes like this, and you couldn't see what was in. They just sort of said a box of comics, including, So I actually been and had a look at the boxes, and one of the boxes was stacked full of Dave Stevens.
Wow.
But it was all, and So I moved all the Dave Stevens to the bottom of the box. And there was also some really nice Brian Bolland stuff. Anyway, and it was in near mint condition. It hadn't been opened. So there was a couple of lots I was really interested in. Anyway, this guy with the gaffer tape who looked like a tramp was just bidding on everything.
Wow.
He must have spent about 7,000 or 8,000
wow,
that day. And what he was doing was waiting till everybody else online and in the room had finished, and then he started bidding. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's an obnoxious guy. The auctioneers don't like him. I can tell that. And one of the lots that I wanted, the one with all the Dave Stevens in it, I thought, oh, he'd been through and seen everything. So anyway, this lot came up, and I'd put a sort of I'd put a price maximum of 400 quid on it. Anyway, it came up. It started at 250. I bid 260, and the internet stopped bidding. The auctioneer went, any more bids? Bam, closed. And this guy with the gaffer tape and said, whoa, I want to bid. And the auctioneer said, tough, you're too late.
Yay.
Oh, wow.
Obviously,
I remember that story. I remember it.
That's a great story.
He fell asleep or something.
He was just waiting for all the bids to finish, but because there was only one internet bid and then me, and the internet didn't bid again. He was caught unawares.
Don't the auctioneers go like going, fair warning?
Yeah, but they don't.
None of that.
They said they did the sort of, but they did it quite quickly. They don't like him.
Yeah.
He's not a very nice guy. It's sort of so when I went last week, he was there again, and I thought, oh shit. Anyway, he was there, and he was not pleasant. You know, he was sort of like, he was bidding like this, and he was putting his card up, and on one occasion the bid went high. He pulled his card down, and the auctioneer said, "Excuse me, do you want to? Are you wanting to bid 120?" And he went, "No, I've taken my card down. I stopped bidding some time ago." You know, he's just not.
What a knob.
Dick.
He's just a not very nice guy. You know,
or a dick.
Yeah.
So basically, these comics, right? So there was some Alan Class that you got.
Yeah.
Were they in amongst like Marvel?
No, it was purely. There were two Alan Class lots. I'd been looked at them both, and I knew this. The first lot I wasn't interested in. The second lot, and the first lot went for quite a lot of money, but the second lot contained this. The problem was this guy'd seen it as well. So I was hoping I was going to get the 70 comics for about 150, 160 quid. I ended up paying over 200, but it's still worth it because that by itself, that by itself is worth over 200.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing.
It's so. I love the stories. Every time you find something, I love the stories. But you know, I hate missing out.
I'll tell you what was happening. I think he was holding back. He was not bidding as crazily as he had bid at the last auction, and I know why. Because the last lot came up, and it was about 6 boxes full of Valiant. Okay, it's a UK comic. Yeah. And there'd been one other UK comic lot, and there was a guy on the telephone, a telephone bidder, right? Who he wasn't bidding on anything other than the sort of UK. I think the first lot was Eagles, right? And the telephone bidder got it. Anyway, it came to this last lot of Valiant comics, which I thought, you know, they'll probably go for about 200 or 300. Anyway, it was my guy I don't like with the gaffer tape on his shoes against the telephone bidder, and they went up to 950 quid. For the boxes of Valiant. It was the most expensive lot of the day. It beat all the Spider-Mans, everything. How many were there? Well, there were about 4 boxes of them. But I mean, Valiant
don't go for nothing. Like Gosh Comics, they used to do like a 10-pack of Valiant for £1.
Yeah.
Oh crap.
Anyway, and my guy didn't get it. I reckon he'd been saving up his money for the last lot, and therefore had held back bidding on some of the earlier ones.
I mean, there are no keys in that Valiant.
Do you know any history of him though, Mark? Is he a seller? Do you see him in the market?
I've never seen him selling. The prices he was paying for the Batmans, I think he's buying for himself, because he was buying. He was paying fair market value plus. Because I like to buy at half fair market value, so all the Batmans just went way above my price. So I've never seen him selling anywhere. I mean, it's possible he has an eBay store, but I've not seen him anywhere.
What kind of age is he, Mark? Older than us?
Mid-50s.
Okay, I say one who's any mileage in befriending him and seeing if you can get his comics once he's died.
Yeah, I think I'm older than him, so
yeah, it doesn't work that way, does it? It won't work. Never mind.
And I spend far too much money on shoes. He had. I am delighted to tell you, he had actually invested in a new pair of trainers.
Okay.
Because his shoes weren't held together with gaffer tape this time.
Wow!
You're killing me. You're killing me.
So it's good fun, and he was he didn't spend as much money either. So whether he
must have a lot though, must he? Where's he get his? He can't be like, you're just like that. You're not working in the city or something, are you? Where's this money coming from?
No. Oh no, he looks like he's got a scraggly old beard, and he's scruffy, and he drives a van.
A farmer or something? Landowner?
Could be a turkey farmer. They've got a few quid.
That's
any more you got to go?
So I picked up a couple more. So I think I showed you these IW comics last week, didn't I? So I picked up a couple more off eBay. Those cost me £10.
Nice. Realistic romances.
Wow.
So I've now got the entire run of realistic romances. I've got issue 1, issue 8, and issue 9.
Oh, is this the guy who found the printing plates?
The guy who bought the printing company found the plates for the insides of the comics and then put them out with new covers on.
Yeah.
It's a bit like Lucille Ball, that last one.
So I wonder what the backstory is to why there's no number 2 to number 7.
It was all over the place. I think I said last week, there's about 700 odd different comics, but across 380 different titles. So the average run is 2 issues.
But I wonder if that's actually part of.
Oh yeah, I'm guessing.
Some of the stuff that he issued might be issues number 3, 2, 3, and 4. And then a 5 and a 6 and a 7. But so the numbers are sequential, but you'd never know they're the same set because the front cover would have a different title or something, and the indicia would not say anything about.
The indicia says nothing. Doesn't even have a date.
So,
yeah.
But are the insides from different comic companies as well?
Yes. Yeah.
So, there's no rhyme or reason to any of it, then, is it?
No, the insides are always a full comic. So the insides are always,
it doesn't carry on.
The strange case of Dr. Fu Manchu from Avon Comics, 1951, issue 3. It's all there. Yeah. It's just got a new cover on it.
Anyway, I'm going to stop calling it indicia. That's Carl's word. I'm going to call it an indicia. Because it's based on Latin. Based on Latin, and in Latin, Caesar pronounced hard, like Caecilius and Carnis.
These are just some stuff I picked off of eBay for about £1 each.
Oh, those are good.
This is Whatnot. Some of the sellers on Whatnot just selling things at silly prices. So I thought, might as well take advantage of it.
Yeah, these are brilliant. I sometimes pick these up.
Ditko covers.
That looks like Neil Adams with that hair.
What's that one?
13.
Gen 13.
Gen 13. Yeah.
J. Scott Campbell.
Yeah, those don't sell real well for us. Those do.
Ventures into the Unknown.
Those are great. I love those.
American Comics Group, yeah.
They're nice, Nick.
Yeah, they are. They're
Normally, when I come across
all of these,
these,
were £1 or £2.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
Adventures in the Unknown, Into the Unknown is considered the first horror comic.
Weird Western Tales. Is that the one I've got 50 issues of?
Oh, is it? Is
I
it? Is that
know.
one?
That's early Jonah Hex right there.
This next one I bought for £2. It's just ridiculous. It's worth
Oh my God!
Yeah, that's a good one.
Is that the first Pit the Troll?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Something like that.
I think so.
That Jonah Hex is like his what, 7th appearance?
Just
Yeah.
lovely. Batman black and white.
Batman black and white.
Unknown Soldier.
Cool.
Good.
Amazing Spider-Man. I've never heard of this. The official Marvel Index.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. There's
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of the. Yeah, those aren't really worth much.
No,
but yeah.
Early 80s, late 70s, early 80s.
It just tells you
Yeah.
what's in every book, doesn't it? Popeye.
Popeye.
Oh, that's a great Popeye cover.
It is. That's a really nice cover.
Popeye versus the
Showcase
Sea Giant,
number 95. Doom Patrol.
Oh yeah.
First appearance of the new Doom Patrol. I remember buying
two
that off the
quid.
stands when I was like in 5th grade.
Problem is, people watching Whatnot have absolutely no idea.
Kyle, that was issue 24, so it would have been his 15th.
It's a nice older looking
Okay, it
side.
was
of the top.
24.
This is a nice one. This is quite pricey Gotham Adventures because it's got Harley Quinn on it.
I thought it was like 17 when I first saw it. So.
I've got it.
Forbidden Tales of Dark Mansion. I think I've already got this, but when it comes up for £2, I can't resist
Oh
it.
yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah,
that's a
bloody hell.
steal.
This is a nice cover. GI Combat, America's #1 fighting mag.
I think I might have
Haunted
that one.
Tank.
Yes, the Haunted Tank, and we've got the Haunted Tank here as well. This is nice. I think I paid £5 for this actually.
Yeah, but you think that
Yeah,
nowadays comics are $3.99, $4.99, $5.99. I mean,
Was that Debbie's Diary or something?
Debbie's Dates.
Yeah.
Oh, Debbie's Dates. Okay.
It's a DC comic from, and it's obviously trying to do the Archie thing, isn't it?
Yeah, early 60s or?
Yeah, no, early 70s.
Early 70s, late 60s, early 70s.
Okay.
But no, I always think of it as the prices that comics are now. When you're buying
Those
those
through the
for
scooter.
a couple of quid, so
Another
Silver Age.
IW found on
Oh,
eBay.
that's a really nice one.
Isn't that the one that I've got a
Is
really
that a Kirby
bad
cover?
copy of?
That's a Kirby cover, isn't it?
What's it called? Frantic Romance.
Isn't it? Joe Kubert or something. That's Silver
But
Age.
it's not. Joe Kubert didn't do covers for these people.
Is it Kirby, you think? Kirby did.
What was the first
No,
word on
it's
the
not
title?
Kirby.
Russ Heath.
Frontier Romances, I think.
Frontier Romance. Okay.
Frontier Romances #9.
Right.
So, Mark,
Those are great, man.
the Silver Acre comics for £1. I mean, some of those card backing boards had Silver Acre on the back of them.
Debbie does.
Yeah, that's
Debbie
right.
does the-
Silver Acre.
Paolo, come on, man.
I did
That's
get
pretty
that
funny.
from Silver Acre. I did get that from Silver Acre. I said I got it off eBay. It was about £5 or £6.
Wow, that's a steal. We would probably sell that for $75 in the store.
What? This one?
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
No.
yeah.
Oh,
I have
maybe.
noticed these are going for sort of $30, $40 in the States. These,
Yeah, they're yeah. We sold our Cowgirl Romances the other day for $129.
Whoa.
So yeah,
You
and
got
it had
any
a big
Bob
ring
Hope
on it.
comics, Bill?
Huh?
In the store, you got any Bob Hope comics in the store?
No, I think I have a few ratty ones that I got recently at the house. I'll have to look for you. But I got Adventures into Mystery #1, a really crappy copy of it. But hold on just a second.
But yeah, them Western romance comics have a lot of surprises in them. You'll find some with Rosetta art in them, or Matt Baker art, or Rusty.
I had a look, Kyle, because you said that last week, and I haven't found any Matt Baker yet.
Huh?
I've had a look, Kyle, because what you said last week.
Yeah.
But I haven't found any Matt Baker in there yet.
Yeah, but I mean but them Western romances, you find them odd gems. You know, you'd never think there'd be a Frazetta Inc. book in it. And it's a random book. There's no issue 1 or issue 2. It's like issue 26 or 14. And Russ Heath did artwork in there, you know, and you'd think, well, that's a wartime artist.
I want to know if there's any comic called Marine Romances.
Yeah. How to fuck a stripper.
Marine romances. I'm sure there is.
Yeah, I bet. They like to mix
synonymous
up
with fucking strippers since 1775.
Marine romances. He was storming the beaches, but he fell in love with a mademoiselle or something crazy like that.
Storming the bitches.
Storming your breeches, more like.
Yeah. But yeah, that's a fun rabbit hole to go down now, because like I said, if you got an artist preference, like if you want early Frazetta stuff, he did a lot of ad work or ink and things, and it's just in really fucking weird comic books.
Yeah.
And it's really weird. It's Western romance, and it's silly shit like that, where they're valuable, but you have to know what you're looking for to find them for any value. And if people are just dumping them, they never fucking know.
Yeah,
you know, but like that, Heroic Comics did that a lot.
When's the DC going out?
What?
Darren, when's your DC going up?
Oh, what do you mean coming up?
No, going up.
You're doing your Marvel now, aren't you? You're only doing
Oh,
Marvel.
God almighty. It's took me like 6 years to do this Marvel.
So
we'll all be dead. We'll all be dead
out.
by the time I get around to the DC.
Yeah, we love you too.
Well, I'll give you an update, shall I? I
think you should dig them out and let's do some flaming again then.
Carl did the pricing, checked the price. So I did the pricing, and then Carl checked a lot of the pricing, so we readjusted that. Then I'm still working in this Excel spreadsheet, so then I took the opportunity, because I'm going to rip all the Marvel off the shop and put all the new Marvel on the shop. So I took the opportunity to clean up the titles and the categories and the spelling mistakes and stuff. But then to do the photos in this efficient way, which is just sequential photos and go wallop, I have to get the order of the comics in the boxes as I photo them to be absolutely perfectly identical to the order of the Excel spreadsheet. So I farted about for a day or so, changing things around. Like, there's Mark might get this one, but there's a substitute formula. So you substitute a word with another word and then resort it and so on. So I've got like substitute strings of formulas that just go off the end of the page. But anyway, so I've got the list sorted now. So it's time to do the photos. Brilliant, right? This is a major progress. It's photo time. So got my camera out and plugged the batteries in, so I had to recharge the batteries. Chuck the battery in the camera. Here's my camera, look. Here's my camera here. So chuck the batteries in, and then how does this work? So switched it on and then tried to take a photo. He said, there's no memory card in here. So like, oh God, where's that? So I found the hole for the memory card, and there is no memory card in there. At some point, I took the memory card out to put all the photos on the computer to then upload to the internet. I can't remember what the hell I did with the memory card. So
I'll be right back.
So I spent half a day looking around the house.
What you need, Darren, is a memory to remember where you put the memory card.
Absolutely, but I've got no memory, so I'm screwed. So spent the half the day looking around the house for a memory card, couldn't find it, and so went into town to buy one. So I've now got a new memory card and a new adapter for the memory card, and they now work and everything. And then today I got up, and then rang support on the website because it's very important that I take the right like JPEG or RAW file or the right pixels, height, and because the bigger the megabyte or gigabyte size, the more my monthly rental is on the shop. So I want to get the pictures down to 100 kilobytes each, and then it doesn't kill me for the monthly rental. If it's like 300 kilobytes, I can't afford to run the shop. You know, the rent's too much because I've used too much space on the shop. So there was that conversation to have. So everything was ready. Today, I says, right, okay, today. And I cleaned my desk. I said, right, I'm going to move that there and this there and set up my camera table there. All ready. 5 o'clock this morning, the sun woke me up with the daylight. So I sat down in the computer room. I thought I'd just check World of Warcraft to see if I sold anything in the auction house overnight on the game. And managed to spend 12 hours playing World of Warcraft today. And so I didn't take a single photo today. So that's now tomorrow's job, is to start the photo.
I think you sold your soul on World of Warcraft, didn't you?
Yeah, I reckon I sit there telling myself all day long, saying, "You're an idiot. This is pointless. Why are you doing this? You've got a freaking load of photos to put on your website. Why are you playing this game, you idiot?" Anyway, I just did it. So tomorrow we start again, and tomorrow we do the photos. So all I got to do is take a test batch, send it to support, talk to support to make sure I'm doing it right. And if they say yes and I'm happy, then I just get the photos done. Well, not done. It's 6 days of 8 hour a day, endless taking photos. But
do you not have to edit the photos?
No. There's no editing required really. So it's a nice, neat system. So once the photos are there,
how do you know they're centered and the colors are right and everything?
Yeah, absolutely, no problem. Just done, job done. So what I've done is I've done this before, but previously 2.5 years ago when I did the last upload. So I've got like a camera sort of tripod frame with some lights and stuff, and the camera sits there like that.
Oh, okay, right.
So I put the comics on the thing underneath. The camera never moves. Right. And there's a feature of the camera, which is why I bought this particular camera, that you can set an auto shot every so many seconds. Right. So when I get really fast at doing it, I set the new shot at 4 seconds. So I have to get a comic, put it down in the right place, and then put it in a box.
Right,
while I'm
Darren, you've only got to do something wrong, or go and get start thinking about World of Warcraft for a second. And everything's out by 1, and all the wrong photographs have gone on to the wrong thing.
Yes, absolutely. And I've been and this has been like doing my head in, like trying to work it through. But the way I'm going to do it is simple. There's a box check. So at the end of every box, I'll check the photo I just took, which will be like numerically sequenced. Compare it to that number on my Excel list, and if they match, then that box I took the right amount of photos.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Now it doesn't. There could still be some discrepancies inside the box, but at least there was the right number of photos for the complete box.
Yeah.
How big is the memory card? So for your photos?
Oh, it's 128 gigabytes. So
how many photos?
25,000.
Oh, that's big enough for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's only doing them at a low resolution.
Yes, quite low res, but basically, even if it filled the memory card, I just take the memory card out, stick it in a computer, transfer it to the computer, wipe the card, and put it back in to start again with the next lot.
All it was I know how distracted you get, so you might forget about that, and then you're actually taking photographs and nothing's happening.
No, the camera will on the camera. Right, let me just show you. So when this is this camera is quite cool. So I've got to turn it on.
Yeah, remember to turn it on and take the camera.
There's a screen on the camera, right? So that screen twizzles around. So the camera's like that, and I'm here, and I twizzle the screen so that I can see what's happening on the photos. And if it ever had a problem, it would tell me on this screen. So that there, if I take the lens cap off, that's actually the picture that I would be taking. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, put some trousers on.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. So anyway, once I've got the photos taken and then align them with the spreadsheet, that's when I can hopefully just do it marking. And I talked to Mark because I know that Mark's got a career in finance and systems and stuff, and so have I. And so he's got more chance than you guys of doing Excel spreadsheets and weird formulas. But there's
you know who does that full time is Blanca.
Well, that's not much help because she's over there and I'm here. But anyway.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, if you ever had a question and head scratcher, she might be able to help you troubleshoot.
Cool
That's
stuff.
all.
Yeah. So basically, the names of the photos will from the camera will simply be a time and date stamp. That's all they will be. But the great thing about that is it's sequential, so they sort in a perfect order. So I just pop them into a directory in my computer, and then there's this really cool thing I researched last time when I was doing this, and I can sort of this is how I'm going to do it, Mark. Right?
Yeah.
If I'm sure that the box ends of the boxes all line up, and I might have to fiddle a few things to do it, but basically once I get to that point, I can go into MS-DOS, and there's a command called REN, rename. So you go rename that file, and actually what you do is you make an Excel spreadsheet and you put the existing file name and then the file you want it to be, and then you put a text string in to make the word rename that to this.
Yeah.
And then you copy the whole thing and you paste it into your MS-DOS screen and hit enter, and bang, it's done. Now there's a limit. You can only get 10,000 files in the directory, but that's okay. You just do it multiple times. There's no problem at all. That's how I'm going to rename the photos. And then once that is done, I can just upload the photos to the shop and they sort of sit away, and then upload the products and the prices in the product list. And then there's a field in the product to tell you what image to use.
Oh.
And that's simply like a URL made of the location of the shop where all the photos are, plus the photo name. And that's all text string in Excel as well. So all of that, the end bit is actually, it's complex and you need some certain skills to be able to do it, but it's easy. That's the easy bit. The hard bit is actually putting in the time to take the photos, and that's what I'm terrible at doing. I love to solve a jigsaw puzzle, a challenge, something that no one else can do. That's what I love to do. You can always entice me to do something by solving a problem, but you will always see me run away when there's any hard work to be done. Any actual labor, proper labor, I'll run for the hills. So that's where we are. So I changed the home site of the website to say I will be live on either the 21st of June or the 28th of June. And that will happen. Right this time, unless something goes dramatically wrong, which it could do, but it will happen. So I'm fairly comfortable with this.
Hey, Tempest. How's it going, buddy? We missed you.
It's the Sheffield contingent of the
Geeky Weekly, yeah.
Of the Geekies.
Coming back to what you was asking, Gray. So
it's the version.
Once everything's on the website, then I've got some decisions to make about Paolo, I know. But this command is best run in MS-DOS, so you just go into the DOS screen. So after they're on, obviously I'll have orders to process, but I'm hoping, because I'm not going to be doing any kind of sales discounts, it'll just be brand new stuff at full price. I'm hoping to get sales, but not be inundated by sales.
So if you're inundated, you'll have to set up some sort of system that tells people you can't get your comic because I'm currently curing up orcs.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm currently wearing my sexy Nazis outfit in World of Warcraft.
What I hope is that I'm working. Is that the good thing is with an order? That's the one bit of work that there's a commitment. I've got a commitment to customers to actually get that order out to customers. So I'm actually really good at getting orders out. And once the orders are done, I can do whatever. It's once the orders are gone, what do I do with the rest of the day or the evening or whatever? And that's where obviously there'll be some Warcraft. But
what you'll have to do, Darren, is go to look at your bank account growing every day.
that'll be a change.
Every day you're not on Warcraft is what he's trying to say. Yeah.
What I want to do is, I've got these are the things. These are the things, right? I've got your guys' stacks are still sat there, like the second lot of stacks. I'd like to at some point sort those out with you again. But I'd also, all the Dobson stuff that is all just box of, the order of Dobson is just, there is no order. It's all jumbled up. There's only about 12 short boxes, say, of the jumbled up Dobson comics. Wow. I want to sort those so that they're Marvel, which there isn't any Marvel, DC, and then everything else gets split into something like Allen class type stuff, with the Thorpe and Porter type stuff. That'd be one stack. Maybe some of those Western ones, and some this. Try to bunch them together so that I can actually check because I want to process DC at some future point. So I need to separate those Dobson DC and put them with the DCs. But I do want to. I want to know what's in there. I don't know. I've shown so much of this crazy stuff, right? But sometimes I've shown boxes again, and sometimes I've missed boxes. So I just want to. You don't know what you've got until you've got it sorted into a stack. I don't know how many Western comics I've got until it's in a stack or a box.
How many doubles as well?
How many doubles and stuff like that. So I want to just a simple sort to separate it into like 6 different piles. And then once I've got it into the 6 different piles, decide, right, what do I want to what do I want to put on the shop next? Because I've already got an absolute mountain of DC on the shop anyway. Okay, there's not many Batmans left because they just sold like hotcakes. But basically, I've got to think about, do I really want to spend the next year processing DC comics that, apart from Batman, are already on the shop? It doesn't make any sense, Man. It makes sense to process the Batman because there aren't any Batman there. So, but what I would like to do is get these other stuff out there. So the Westerns and the Classics Illustrated, and
the more specialist stuff, which will sell. I mean, I do see people buying Western lots at auctions.
Yeah.
There are buyers for the Western stuff. You may be even better off putting it in auction.
No, we've also seen a resurgence in war comics selling too.
Yeah, war comics is the way I've gone recently.
Darren, you may have a Dobson box itself of All-Star Western 3 through 9.
No, we've seen all the All-Star Westerns that he's got, and he's got all the issues except the key one, and he's
that's
got.
That's what I'm saying.
Number 10
through 9, 6 times each.
No, basically, remember, Dobson's kids took out the best of the Dobson before I ever saw it.
Yeah.
But what was left in there was still fantastic. But imagine what was taken out.
Granted, if it wasn't a pain in the ass to ship, that bound volume of Atlas Westerns you got, I still salivate over wanting those. That's insane.
Darren, did those Australian Captain Marvels I got from you, did those come from the Dobson collection?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So if I'm thinking about getting some of those slabs, and if I do, I wonder if I can get a designation for the Dobson collection.
No. How will they know?
No chance, I don't think. Mark's the expert in terms of this in the UK.
Yeah, he would have had to do provenance with Dobson's kids.
Yeah, Darren would have
to
have done something, and then you'd have to demonstrate that you got it from Darren.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
All right. I've always said, despite the fact that Kyle wants me to do the exact opposite, I've always said there will never be such a thing sold by Splat Comics as the Dobson collection. It's never going to happen.
Yeah, if I'd have been over there to help you do it, maybe you could have pulled it off. But and again, that's just for provenance and record.
No, but
it's
like
the
Mark
same
said,
with Mark's Allen class
like Mark
stuff.
said, though, you really have to have the family's permission.
Yeah,
you
have to have paperwork from them that says these books, this run of books, and this, you have to verify it. But you just can't pass it on to sell it that way.
Well, you can tell
well, you
people.
can. I mean, I can put from the Dobson collection on my stuff. I just can't.
You can, but nobody else. You can't get it certified that way.
Oh, well,
but
that's
it
true.
would have been beautiful if it was, just like I said, the Allen class collection from his garage. That would have been beautiful provenance. But again, it takes a lot of legwork, and there ain't too many people that want to do it.
So anyway,
that's neat. It's neat to own it. That's why I said I want that bound volume so fucking bad that if I didn't want them X-Men and Silver Surfers, I'm still debating, can I work something out to get because I'd love to have those just because they're so unique and neat and in great shape and bound. But yeah, I'll take comic books.
That'd be great. You see that? I don't know. So I've got Mark, you've seen the stock here. It's just crazy. The non-Marvel and non-DC is boxes and boxes and boxes of it, and it's just all sorts of
garage in a room full.
Yeah, and it's hard to figure out what to sell in what order and how to sell it.
Well, it's where you're going to get the maximum bang for your time. That's the issue.
Yeah.
Well, it comes
Darren,
down.
If you had me go through your independence the way you had me go through those Marvels to look for keys, you talk about a needle in a fucking haystack. I'd charge you triple the money to look through those.
But that's the problem, Kyle, because this is why independents are turned down by most people like me, because it's just not worth the time. It's not worth the investment to try to sell independents.
Well, the good thing is there's only about 100 keys.
We've been selling more independents lately than almost anything. I mean, I don't know what's going on, and we have here are independents compared to DC and then of course Marvel. But the independents, people are really into the different stories now. They're not. I think people are turned off by Marvel and DC a lot, and I think people that really want to discover something new, they're going to the independents first.
Now this is right. This is a really weird thing because trying to see it from a big picture point of view. If I said to you, as comic collectors, where in the UK, because that's where I'm sort of working myself, if you want to go and see a really good exhaustive selection of independent comics through the 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s, where would you go? You've got a very limited choice. I think the only answer is probably eBay or Silveracre or the Mart, as you say. Because I think most comic sellers just don't even bother with independents because
not even Forbidden Planet.
It's the value.
Forbidden Planet is bloody awful at back issues. It's mainly selling modern rubbish. It's mainly selling Funko Pops and war games. Forbidden Planet is not a particularly good comic shop anymore.
No, that's too bad.
The problem is that there's so many different publishers and titles that it's like so difficult to even work out what you've got, what it's worth. And then it's even more difficult to find someone who's going to want to buy it, I think. Right, now twist all that on its head to where I'm thinking and see what you think to my thoughts. Is I've deliberately tried to avoid buying independents for the reasons I've just stated. Unfortunately, you get lumbered with a load of independents whenever you buy collections. So I have got an absolute mountain of independents, and I'm aware that what I just said is that there's not many places where you can actually go and have a good selection of independents. So therefore, even though it's a real pain to process and the value per comic is usually way, way less than Marvel, if no one else is offering it and I happen to have loads, and my system is efficient. If I do any work, is efficient.
Yeah, but Darren, right? So what I do with independence is it's the Pareto rule, right? So which I find holds in most walks of life, right?
Is that 80-20?
The 80-20 rule. So 80% of 80% of the value of independent comics will be in 20% of the comics, right?
Yeah.
So what you need to do is take your independent comics and do a sort of so for instance, I could sort independent comics and split them into the 80-20 quite easily. I might get it a bit wrong, but I wouldn't be far off. And some I wouldn't know. So I'd put them into 3 piles. I'd put them into worth 10 quid or more, worth, I could do a worth nothing,
one that you could sort of
and then some I wouldn't know, so there'd be a pile of I need to investigate. Yeah. And then I would only spend the time listing the 20% that had 80% of the value.
Right, but you're working on a sort of list individually by issue, whereas I work on a bulk sort of copy paste lookups and all that stuff. So let me put it another way. I've worked it out in the past. Now, my cost to process a comic is about 10 pence in 10 pence in time value.
Yeah.
In terms of the time I spend on a comic, plus 10 pence for a bag and a board, right? So my cost to process, and then there's the purchase cost. But basically, I've got the purchase cost plus 10p bag and board plus 10p processing time. Now, if I can sell a comic for £3 in near mint, then it makes it's a and I've got the comic. If I've already got the comic, why not just get it processed at the 20 pence, 10 pence processing, 10 pence bag and board, whack it on the web shop, let it sit there forever. Eventually, people, when these things sell, is in discount sales, because people buy like things that they don't normally buy when they're at a great price.
Yeah.
So I know that if I've got 10,000 independent comics, and it's going to, let's just for argument's sake, if I said that the processing cost plus the purchase cost is £1, and I could sell them at £1.50 eventually in a sale, 50p times by 10,000 comics is £5,000. So if I think, right, is it worth £5,000? How long will it take me to process those? In reality, there's £5,000 of potential income there, but it's not just about the value of that exercise. To me, it's also about offering a wider breadth to attract more customers to me as their sort of number one port of call, because it's the knock-on sales. Because if you get people starting to shop and fill a cart with independents, and then they also put in a few Marvels or DCs or something else that's more expensive, but they wouldn't have come to the shop if they hadn't been attracted by the independents in the first place, then it becomes a slightly different story. So that's where my sort of, and there's no right and there's no wrong answer to this, Mark. It's just a feel and a want to test the water and so on. The problem I've got is I've already got the bloody comics. I didn't want to get them, but I've got them. So they're a problem, and it's a problem of, do I just turn them straight around and put them into an auction and get peanuts for them, but they're gone and it's no longer a problem?
Yeah.
Or do I go through the rigmarole of putting them on the shop and try to persuade myself that it's worth doing for all these positive reasons that I've just said? And that's the conundrum. Now,
so Darren, have you got Invincible? Have you got?
No.
No, we're not talking. I have had a full set of Invincible, yes. I have had nearly a full set of Walking Dead. But the problem is, they're only just 2 runs. There are probably 500 runs of 5 issues.
All I'm saying is the fact that, I mean, at least there's a couple of things that you can get a few bob for. That's all I was thinking.
Anybody know the significance of this,
no.
Andy?
Well, it's Badger, isn't it? Is it
Caliber
Badger?
#1. There was something in that. I can't remember what it was.
It's not Badger.
It's not Badger.
No.
Caliber presents #1.
He's trying to tell us it's the first issue Caliber. There is something important in this, but I buggered if I know what it was.
So
the Crow.
It's the first
Crow.
Crow.
Now we have 2 of these, and I personally don't
That's the
think
first
it's
Madman.
Oh, those are nice.
I've got
that. Freaks. What was in that?
We don't need to see your family photographs, Kyle.
Well, that's a nice one.
Wow.
That's just some pricey random 80s indies.
He was probably still alive when that came out. He died in 89. Now, I just want... Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
That's me. I'm done. I only grabbed 4.
I just want to show this real quick because I don't understand. Okay, so we got 2 copies. We have 2 copies of these. These, believe it or not, they book at $1,200 in Overstreet. And
Are they printed or hand drawn?
No.
Is that Love and Rockets?
No, it's Walking Dead. And we have 2 of them.
Dead.
Yeah, but it's called a sketch variant, but it's not a sketch. It's I mean, it is a sketch, but they made the sketch the cover and they reproduced it on, 100 issues or whatever. But, we're never even going to sell these at half price.
No.
I mean,
I cannot shift Walking Dead for love and money. I've never collected but okay, as you said, I buy auction lots, and sometimes there's Walking Dead comics in there, right?
Right.
Still sitting on my indie box, Bill.
I can't sell them at all.
No, that's mine.
Nobody wants Walking Dead.
And look what's behind it.
Walking
Oh
Dead
my
is
God,
dead
you
on
already
the
have it
wall.
ready for me. Love you, man. That
The
makes me
Walking
happy.
Dead was all the rage when Walking Dead was all the rage on the telly.
Yeah,
when Rick Grimes disappeared off the telly and everyone stopped being interested in Walking Dead on the telly, the comics absolutely nosedived.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the Walking Dead is dead.
Is dead.
The only one that
They've stopped walking. They're just dead.
And there was always some talk of a film with Rick Grimes in it or a series or something, and there still is.
Ain't gonna happen.
But if ever it does happen, it's not going to suddenly revive them to where they used to be.
Nah.
It won't even, because they're gone. They're gone. Walking Dead is done, dusted, gone. It's gone.
No, I mean,
So I agree with you, Bill. That's going to be hard to get that price.
Yeah, and it's just like, how can you even say they're worth $1,200 when you can't even get half that from any? I mean,
they're not
like
worth
$1,200.
They're not worth $1,200, Bill.
No,
they were worth $1,200 one day at the peak, probably one day in their lifetime, and one person probably paid $1,200 for them.
Right,
you're lucky to get $200 for them.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
Yeah, and that's the way it goes. Is that
it's a nice cover either, is it really? I mean, that's not a great drawing.
There are things
it's okay. It's not great,
I don't think I'd pay £2 for it personally, because it's
no, me either. Now, as opposed to this has gone down too a lot. But we have $349 on it, but look at that. It does have a great cover, and it was a good story, but. I mean, it just, I don't know. It's dead also in the water.
Yeah, because
nobody cares about therapists anymore
either. They did a TV series of it that absolutely bombed.
Yeah. That used to fetch a lot of money before the TV series. And then when the TV series came out, it totally, it just screwed it.
So
I sold the full run, the full 60 issues for nearly £500.
Wow.
But... you say, but
you did well there, Terry. You'd probably get $50 for them now.
Now, yeah.
If that, yeah. But
and yet, when that series first come out, Kirkman, I always want to call him Kirkman was peddling any issues that he'd get the local comic shops to buy. He tried to give me free Charlie All Red art, free signed issue #1s. I'm like, I don't like zombies, man. Then he got an option. shot through the roof. But
no, I mean the thing is, why The Last Man? I mean the TV series screwed it because it decided to make it woke, but it was woke already because he was the last man. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't understand the fucking title.
Yeah. My favorite thing. My favorite thing to hear, and it comes from the nerdrotic guys more than anything else, and they're based out of San Antonio, and they're the ones that, I mean, they kind of cater to the incel group and far right, goofballs, but they totally someone the other day they brought up that X-Men's woke now, and I dare not open my mouth and say it's like Star Trek. It's always been fucking woke. If there was never a period where X-Men wasn't woke.
X-Men was always woke.
There's never a period where Star Trek was ever not woke. And it's like, oh, they're ruining my show. They're ruining my comics. No, dude, you just need to grow the fuck up and realize they were always woke.
It was
I'm
woke,
sorry.
well-told stories, but now they do it woke where they ain't well-told stories. That's the trouble. Because they should train the woke part down your throats. That's the trouble.
And look, I'm a pretty liberal guy. You guys know that. But when every other day some 70-plus-year-old artist or writer is saying, "Oh, now call me Vivian," and I mean the female Vivian, not the male Vivian, because I know you guys have Vivians over there, like Vivian Campbell, but that's not what I mean. But it's like, call me Carol now, and it's like it just. It doesn't bother me if that's really who they are and they want to do that. That's great, but it creates disturbances in collecting what they did, because now they've become something different, and that reflects on their price, on the prices of their books. And to me, that's just ridiculous. I mean, I don't care what your name is or who you are. Like Catherine Jeffrey Jones was a very good friend of mine. But they went through the entire operation and everything. Everybody knew it was going on. That didn't seem weird to me, because it seemed like a journey they were on. But sometimes it seems like people are just, I don't know. I guess they just get tired of being themselves and want to be someone else.
And yet Bruce Jenner is a right-wing mouthpiece.
Yeah, I don't get
I
that.
I can't help but dead name him after the stuff he's done.
Yeah,
like, I can't even call him a she. It's like, you cannot be hardcore right wing and then know that they hate you. And it's like, you can have your values and be transitioned.
Yeah, but here's the thing. There are a lot of self-haters in the United States now that went for Trump. And by that I mean people that are different races and stuff, and they all thought, oh, Trump's going to be great for all of us. Well, he's not, and now they're all freaked out, and it's like, you know what, dude? I'm sorry, I shouldn't even gone there, but you know what I'm saying.
I have no pity or sympathy for any of them.
Well, I'm finding it much harder to. I've been very tolerant for a long time, and it's getting ridiculous.
You cannot continuously vote against your self-interest and then have a reason to bitch about it.
Right, 100%.
Sit down. 100%. They always say, "Sit down, suck it up, tough it out." Sit down, suck it up, tough it out.
Yeah.
You dug that hole. You were warned. You dug that hole. Stand in it.
And now San Antonio, we have a huge target on our backs, because we're the sixth largest city in the United States, yet we're pretty much, well, us and Austin are pretty much the two liberal cities, and so we're targeted by the right wing now, and that's why they're bringing the military down, because we're going to have a peaceful protest tomorrow, and even our police chief is saying, we face more problems and more trouble from the cops and the Marines and stuff they're bringing in than we do just having the protest.
Well, do you hear what that stupid ass AG said when the reporter says, she's like, well, we're getting things ready in California, and they're like, where were you on January 6th? Well, they're setting fires in California. It's just kept deflecting.
Oh,
it's
I know.
Where the fuck were you January 6th?
I was so pissed that happened on the 6th of January because it's my bloody birthday. So,
oh, man.
Every time you hear January,
I'm so sorry, Darren. That sucks. That's hilarious, though. I did not know that. Well, our closest episode to January 6th next year, we need to have a birthday party, a woke birthday party for you.
Yeah, and we need to make sure we storm the White House on that day.
Right. And at this point, the doors might be wide open. You never know, you know.
And then I'm sitting here thinking of what these kids are going through, because like I've been on global riot control. I've had to make a human chain outside of a fence line of a military base overseas, and I understood the absurdity of it all back in the 80s. Is these people are out here protesting because the base is here, but they're out here protesting because we're here, and then we put the show of force armed human chain up front. All it did was antagonize them. They were relatively peaceful. We went out and antagonized them. We gave them a target to throw cans at, and it's like, you can't shoot them. I mean, we went out there in advance, and they said, you can't shoot them. You're armed, but you can't shoot them unless somebody pulls out a gun.
Trump may give a shooting order. You never know.
And one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life, this old lady, every bit of 70 years old, maybe 5 foot tall, a walking wrinkle. And my old first sergeant used to play for the Washington Redskins and was a semi-pro boxer.
Oh my God.
Joe Frazier's sparring partner.
Oh my God.
An enormous, bulky, barrel-chested black man, just huge black man in his, at the time, about 40 years old. But just this like 6'4" barrel-chested black man, scary as all get out. And this daughter and little old wrinkle walked up to him with her cane and just started knocking the shit out of him. And he couldn't do nothing but laugh. But, you know, he's walking along in front of us, making sure we're doing our thing. And he turns around and there's this little old wrinkle of a little old lady. And she's just wailing away at him. Get out of my country. Get out.
That's hilarious.
Laughing. But it was so adorable. And it encapsulated the absurdity of it. That this brave little, and he even told us, he said that woman had more bravery because he could have squashed her. He could have picked up his big old foot and just squashed her. But she's hitting him with her little cane, going, get the hell out of here. And he's like, she's right. You know, he is an old non-vet and everything. And
that's beautiful.
He's like, she's right because, you know, we do what we do, but we're here and this is a forward deployed base. You know, we have to rationalize that. But it was one of the cutest, most surreal things I've ever seen in my life.
That's hilarious, though. But that's what it's all about.
She was tiny, and she was just saying, just get the hell out. You know, we don't need you. We don't need you doing. I'm not even going to talk about what we were doing and why they were truly protesting, but, you know, they want their land back. And that's the same thing here. You know, I have no problem. If cops can't bust a half a dozen people throwing Molotov cocktails, you know, who cares about the 1,000 that are stopping traffic for the afternoon to make a point?
Right.
You know, who cares? It's there to disrupt enough to say, don't. But if you're throwing a Molotov cocktail, you're going to get shot in the fucking face.
Right.
And I'm sorry, but at least half of those people throwing Molotov cocktails are bad actors because the right side goes, oh, you know, Jan 6 was bad actors that did that. No, they're pointing fingers back at themselves. And half the time they bust these people, both Trump assassinations were committed by Trump supporters. And they just keep trying to sweep that under the rug. You know, it's
that's
like,
weird.
You know, you guys are horrible. It's like, shut up. You know, it's just bad acting. It's a whole lot of bad acting.
Oh, you need to be careful. The Trump police will come and get you.
Fuck him and fuck them and fuck them all.
The Trump police, they live inside of Kyle's head. The Trump police.
I don't care. I love Cheap Trick, but fuck them all. I will never have beer. Fuck them all. Sit and spin on this. FDJT. What's the other one? 8647.
I'm telling him. I've got him on speed call.
Oh, you're so stupid.
Yeah, well, fuck him. I will never be afraid to look him in the eyes and go, fuck you.
Donald, got another one for you. Yeah, he's in Indianapolis. Kyle Andrews. Yeah.
I gave him my address and everything. Sit and fucking spin.
Yeah. He's just called you
unapologetic,
and he's told you to swivel. So, just make him disappear. Okay. Cheers,
Mark is such a grass. He's such a super grass. He's told teacher of you, Kyle.
Cheers.
I do not have one iota of fear from any of those fucking scum.
Cheers me, Mark. Cheers, buddy. That was a good one. Where's your glass? Get your glass.
It's the Donald, my mate Don.
I have never, nor will I ever be intimidated by a cuck. So fuck them all. I ain't worried about them.
Did you try to beat him at golf, Mark?
Yeah, no, I let him win.
Yeah,
he's a bit dodgy. He's a bit edgy. It's a good idea to let him win.
Well, he's dodgy because he's a draft dodger.
Well, you're still alive, so I suppose that proves it.
Yeah.
He wasn't buried in a bunker.
Did that little clap.
We've done 2 hours. We've done 2 hours, guys. We might as well call it a night now.
Okay.
We've had 2 hours.
Guys, it's been wonderful.
Today,
Love you, pals. You guys have a great day. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
See you later.